again. We got it figured out. Technical difficulties this morning. So good morning. I'm Gina Bulow, Stampin' Up! Independent Stamp. Oh my goodness. I'm all frazzled now, you guys. Okay, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, and welcome. When you guys get on, tell me where you're coming from. Tell me what's new in your world, how your Christmas was. Hopefully, I just popped up on my phone, so we're getting places. So we had technical difficulties, and you guys know how I am with technology, but it wasn't my fault today. So, and of course I called Chris, and they're still kind of sleeping, and she finally called me back, and I had no internet at all. Well, comes to find out, Tyler turned the internet off last night, and Chris said, she told him, Gina's got class in the morning, you got to remember to turn it back on, and he didn't. So, now he's in trouble. So I'll have to give him a lecture on Thursday when I see him about you can't turn the internet off. So they thought that I don't know if they're having trouble sleeping or whatever, and the modem is in their bedroom. So he turned it off thinking maybe that will help. But I got here earlier than, you know, they normally get up. So no internet, but here we are. We're going strong. We're popping up here. So I've got Connie here and Judy here. So welcome, ladies. And then I had one of those mornings where I was thinking, like, I feel like I was forgetting something and I don't know what, but I was not thinking it was for this class. I have two classes today. One is for my creative surprise box for those who ordered that. And come to find out, as I'm setting up here, it's for one of the cards this morning. So we're going to try to make do and hope for the best. And hopefully I didn't forget anything else today. But, you know, might be one of those days. So anyways, thank you for joining me. Let's see, what do I got coming up? So this afternoon, those of you who purchased the creative box, that'll be live right after this video. And so about 11 o'clock-ish. And let's see, hello, Miss Mary. Tomorrow I'm live with the scrapbook workshop class, which I will step away for a second and grab. So I have the pages here. With the scrapbook workshop class, it is a $70 order. With that $70 order, you need to order the workshop and then whatever else you need, whether it's a stamp set or ink or glue or whatever you want. With that order, then once you place that order, we're working with Peaceful Days, so you would need that kit. I also send an additional kit to you that includes cardstock, card bases, envelopes, ribbon, gems, and additional die cut pieces to complete the projects. So here are the Peaceful Day scrapbook pages. So we've got kind of I like this color combination, the browns with the blues. So I kind of, there's flowers in the kit, but I also brought in some snowflakes here too to kind of give it more of a, I guess we got kind of a rustic winter going on. So we have that. So these are 6 alternative pages we'll be doing with that. And then yesterday, I did, but maybe I left those cards at home. I am not very organized apparently today. We did the morning create class, and the 3 cards that we did were kind of winter themed. So we got snowflakes, snowman, and then greenery. You know, our pine trees that still are nice and green over the winter. So this class is also available to order. This class is $19 plus shipping. I have to talk with Christine yet about what is her January shipping date. For those of you that want to combine shipping to save on shipping. So I'm not sure what hers is. Now, remember, I kind of do mine backwards. She gets her classes all done the month before and sends her kits out that month. My classes are all done now, so I'm doing my December classes now, and I will ship out in January. So I kind of like do opposite. She takes orders before the month. I take orders as I do the classes and after. So I also have this class available for you. And then today we are going to be working with there were two snowflake sets. One is the Snowflake Kisses and Snowy Delights. And with the Snowy Delights came these masks, and there's a set of 4. So these will change the designs of your snowflake. I'll add more detail as you go through the thing. So I'm going to show you guys how to use these and a little bit different ways to use these, and maybe not use all of them at once. I know sometimes people are like, oh, I'm gonna have to line up 4 of these, and they don't want to go through all that work, and you don't necessarily need to do that. So these are really pretty and make some beautiful cards. So I've got 4 beautiful cards for you today. Here are our cards. Now, this is the card that I forgot. So I should have walked in my office this morning and I would have seen all the parts laying there, but I walked through it last night, so I thought I had everything, but I didn't. And look at this blue. Oh my goodness, beautiful. Another blue one, and then we have a pink one. So, and my color scheme kind of came from these gems. These are the frosted dots. They go with the Aurora Northern Lights DSP. So I kind of went with those gems as far as my colors go. So we're going to kind of start this purple card here. And like I said, I don't have all the pieces and stuff like that, but I'm going to show you the main part here. And you guys, it's pretty basic otherwise. So, all right, let's get started. I need a little bit of water. We're going to do a little bit of watercoloring for our background. Now, you want to use watercolor paper, but like I said, I forgot all the pieces. So I have some thick vanilla here. Chris didn't have any thick white, so I'm going to use some thick vanilla. My purples that I'm using are Gorgeous Grape, Fresh Freesia, and Highland Heather. And I'm going to bring in some blacks. And I'm going to dip my blacks in the ink. Now you can, when doing a watercolor, you can take your ink pad, squeeze it. You have to squeeze it pretty firmly, and you can get a pool of ink in here. I tend to not like to do that because, as you can see on the inside, I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's some dark spots, and it's not necessarily ink. If you get too much water and stuff, I tend to wipe out my cover when I do it like this, and you get fibers and stuff from your paper towel or things like that. So I don't necessarily like to do that because I don't like the fibers going into my ink pad. And I don't like to accidentally have too much moisture in here and just diluting my ink. So with that being said, good morning, Polly. We're going to take, now I know they say you can watercolor thick white paper. I don't feel that it does really well. So you definitely want to use watercolor paper. And what we're going to start off with is I'm going to just coat our paper with water here. And then I'm going to drag my color back and forth like that. So I'm using Fresh Freesia first. I'm going to go in with Highland Heather. And then I'm going to go on the bottom here with Gorgeous Grape. Now, the more water you have, the more it will blend. If your paper is drier, like the paper was drier here, you're going to get a little more streaky look. Now we're putting a snowflake over this, so I don't really, I guess I'm not going to get too worried about the blending and things like that, because I think that'll give it a unique background. So I'm going to leave it like this. But as you can see on this one, and this one was done on watercolor paper, it looks softer and it's more blended. And that also is because this paper here will soak in the water, where the watercolor paper doesn't soak it in as much. So now we're going to take this, we're going to let this dry. If you were at home and you wanted to quick do this, I would take a heat tool to it, both to the front and to the back, to keep it from curling and things like that. But we're going to take this and just set it aside, and we'll come back to this. So hopefully it'll be dry when we are ready for it. And then all you have to do, so what I do, is I would just run this all under the sink. Really easy cleanup. And everything just rinses off if you do it in the sink. Okay. So that is the beginning part of our purple card. Okay, so we'll put that one aside. And we're gonna go with this one next. This will show you all of the masks all at once. Now I use different brushes for different colors. So I have, this is like my light blue blending brush, and then this is for my darker blues. I have one for purples, dark purple, lighter purples, and so on and so forth. So I basically have 2 blending brushes for kind of each set of colors. So basically you have 2 blues, 2 greens, so on and so forth. So for this card, make sure I grab the right kit here. Now, if you don't have this snowflake set at home, that's okay. You could make this, you know, do your snowflake on here, and then just leave the white and not have the vellum snowflake, or you could fussy cut this snowflake. And it's a pretty easy, you're just gonna go around, not super detailed. So it's completely up to you what you would like to do with this when you get this kit. So I have one for my inside, one for the outside. We're using Secret Sea, Balmy Blue, and Misty Moonlight. And I have some really pretty washi tape right here. It's almost too pretty to use for this, but you know, let's see. We'll go a little bit higher so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to tape my piece down with just 2 pieces of washi tape. This was an old sale-a-bration item, actually. There was gold and there was silver, and of course I have tons of this, so we get the pretty washi tape. Okay, so now with our masks. For those of you who don't know what these masks are, if you've never used them, each one of these masks is numbered. There is an embossed side, so a raised side. And if you flip it over, it'll be smooth on this side. So my number is here on this side, and there's a little arrow at the top of each one. I'm gonna do these in order. So I'm gonna flip them over. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm gonna place this on here how I want it. So I want my snowflake to go like this on my paper. So it's going to be off center like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it on here. So I'm going to put a thing up here. Now you could take an Expo marker and mark in your little slot here. I just use a piece of washi tape. So my washi tape is lined up on the edge here and at the top here. I'm going to put another one down through here, and then we'll put one piece on top of my mask so that it stays firmly on here. So I'm going to take my light brush of my blues. You're going to want to have some scratch paper so that you can blot off. Now I discovered, and I'm discovering more, that I need to go through all of my ink pads and probably spend some time re-inking. So mine don't require a lot. So this first set of colors here, I'm going to put on very lightly because I'm going to use Balmy Boo twice, but I want this one just to have a really light layer. So it's just giving it a whisper of color. And you want to go in circular motions. And the nice thing is I can flip this up and see, do I need more color? And I feel like I do need a little more color. And instead of dotting it off on paper, you can also dot it right here and pick up more of that color if you need to. Okay, so I think that looks good. And then when you clean these masks, you can use a baby wipe and just wipe them off, or just run them under the sink. I've got some baby wipes here, so I'm going to use that, and then I'll use my kid's little bib here and dry it off. How many of you like working with these masks? Anyone? Okay, once again, we're going to line this up. Remember, this is my straight edge here. And you may need to adjust it, but I think this looks pretty good. I'm going to put my washi tape right here again. Now, this is where I want a little more of a deeper look. So I'm not going to go off. I'm just going to go directly on to my snowflake because I want a much darker look. And I hope you guys were able to see how light my snowflake was before. And I only taped the one side down, so I'm making sure that I'm holding, see, I just picked it up and moved it. I'm holding this firmly down with my hand. Okay. Now, before I pull this up completely, So I don't know if you guys can see that on the screen, and I don't want to lift my paper up, but you can see I have a really light blue outline, and then I have the darker blue. So that was with the number 2 mask. Now we're going to go through with number 3, and we're going to bring in our Misty Moonlight. So again, we're lining up where our washi tape is. We're going to tape this down. Now this is where I'm bringing in my darker brush. And I know that my Misty Moonlight needs some refilling too, so we're going to go directly on here. And it's so fun to see our snowflake kind of coming to life with all the detail. And as we go through, there's less and less open space, so you can definitely go more directly on here and not worry about streakiness too. Okay, so I'm going to lift this up, make sure it's dark enough. Oh, look at that. Look how pretty that is. So now we've got a 3rd layer of color on here. And the nice thing with our glass mat, everything just wipes off with our glass mat. Okay, and for our final one, so this is number 4. We're going to bring in our Secret C now. And I'm not even cleaning off my brush because we're going a little bit darker, so I'm not too worried about this. And once again, because this is such little tiny holes, I'm able to go directly. I don't have to stamp off necessarily. And let's see. Look at that, it's so pretty. So I'll bring this up to the camera a little bit so you guys can see this a little bit closer. Put on my washi tape here aside for the next one. Let's wipe this off before I get blue ink everywhere. Then we can gently take off our washi tape. And I'll bring this up to the camera a little bit closer so you guys can see, look at all of that different colors. So you've got a really light shadow behind this little bit darker balmy blue. And then you can see all of our different colors. So turned out really, really nice. So now this is where you could fussy cut this. You could put it directly onto your card. So with this kit, these two will be the same, but you could cut this down just a little bit and just have a light blue border. Or I'm going to bring in my wonderful cutting machine here. tie-dye. And we will cut this out. Because no one really loves to fussy cut, right? If we don't have to. There are the few random people out there that love to fussy cut and think it's therapeutic. I do not. Now you would think it's kind of what I do for a living, being that I cut hair all day, that I wouldn't mind fussy cutting, but I really don't. Okay, so now we have our beautiful snowflake. We'll get this out of the way. And we can complete the rest of our card. So with this, bring our pieces back in. We had that vellum snowflake. How many of you are excited for vellum? I am so excited that Stampin' Up! Brought back vellum. This is an online exclusive, so you're not going to see it in a catalog. It's going to be online exclusive, and so excited to have vellum back. I love to use vellum. I think it makes such a nice accent piece. So we're going to adhere those together. We're going to adhere our balmy blue that we've embossed. Holly, you love to fussy cut? Oh man, LOL, right? Okay, so then this, we're gonna pop this up. Now you would think, I got a lot of snowflakes going on this week. We did some snowflakes yesterday. I got snowflakes now. I've got snowflakes after this. A little bit of snowflakes tomorrow. I'd be snowflaked out, but I am not. I am loving these snowflakes. They're so pretty. Okay. So we'll just kind of center that on here. Then my little circle came loose. Here it is. Now I have to find here it is. So I love this. If kisses were snowflakes, I'd send you a blizzard. So we'll bring in our Secret C. And then while we're stamping, we'll bring our inside in and sending warm hugs. So this could be a thinking of you card. It could be a birthday card. It could be whatever you want it to be. And I love the font in the set also. So we have that, and then we have some beautiful snowflakes that will stamp on the inside here in balmy blue. I need Carissa to be watching. Carissa is a blue fan, so she'd probably love this card. So I've got blue today for you blue fans, and we've got some purple for you purplicious fans. I'll bring in my scratch paper. No orange today. I don't know what was wrong with me, but I didn't bring no orange in. So I'll just stamp. This is Misty Moonlight, not Balmy Blue. But we're gonna go with it, right guys? We're gonna turn this around like that. So I'm not paying attention, obviously. I'm just grabbing stuff, and at least I didn't grab pink, right? Even though blue and pink, they go well together. All right, so now we can put the rest together. We'll put our inside in. So today I read on our announcements that we have a special coming up in January. January, our special will be, bonus days are coming back. So for every $50 you spend, you get a $5 coupon. And with that $5 coupon, then you'll be able to spend that in February. So I believe, I don't have the dates pulled up right in front of me here, but I believe it starts January 6th when the new catalog launches and goes till February 1st. And then February 2nd through the end of February, you'll be able to redeem those $5. So you can redeem all of those at the same time. So let's say you collect $20 in coupons. So you got 4 coupons, you got $20. You can use that $20 all at once in February. And on top of that, you're getting rewards. So you're getting your 10% rewards, plus you're getting the $5 coupon. So that is a really nice bonus. So just kind of weaved my ribbon back and forth here. And then oftentimes, especially with this thicker ribbon like this, I will put a piece of ribbon or tear tape over the top to just make sure that my ribbon stays down. Because you can see like that end there will pop up, and if you don't have that ribbon down, it may not keep your label down the way you want it to. Okay. So does anyone have any New Year's plans? New Year's Eve, do you do anything special? So we're gonna tuck this down through here. Hello, Miss Mary. How was your birthday yesterday? So these are the frosted gems. So this was my inspiration as for the colors we use. So I tried to incorporate these gems in every card. So they were what chose what colors I was doing for this. So we're gonna bring the blue ones in here. I gotta remember here. These are blue ones too. We'll put that one back. I got some loose ones here. For New Year's Eve, we probably won't do a whole lot. Play some games with the kids, chill out, have a nice fire. But the first is our Fearless Queen's birthday. So we will be headed out to the farm, and of course Janet will make a wonderful birthday meal, and we'll kind of be celebrating her birth, mostly her birthday, but then they always throw me in there too. So that's so sweet of them to do. So there we go. Here's our first full completed card. So aren't those blues really, really pretty? So we'll get to spend the day at the farm and playing games and having fun. So, okay, card number 1 is done. Card number 2 will be this pink one here. So we've got some basic beige, some pretty in pink. So for my pink fans here, this one is for you. Our inside, our mat, and then we have a postage die here. So I'm going to bring in a clean piece because I don't want to pick up any of that blue ink and transfer it into my pink pad, because that would not be cool, right? So I've got my piece of paper here, and then I am using mask number 3 for this. And I thought this one, I could have actually turned this one into a Valentine's card, because I think these pieces kind of, they don't mimic a heart, but I feel like it could be a heart. So we've got our number 3 mask, our pink brush, and we need some pretty and pink ink. Now I'm not going to tape this one down at all because I'm going to be moving this randomly. I don't need this perfectly on here, but I do see a little bit of blue on here. So okay, so like I said, this is the number 3 mask. We're gonna go in here, and like I said, this is more detailed, so you don't have to worry so much about stamping off. And I'm gonna go directly on here. Make sure you hold your mask down firmly, or it will slide. So there's number 1. We're gonna slide one over here on the side. And then we will put one down here in the corner. So just like that. So you just make a nice background. So these work really great like for a scrapbook page too. Or you could do just the 2 last masks, or you could do this mask and mask number 1. So there's lots of possibilities as far as mixing and matching or using these masks individually to create a background for your cards, your scrapbook pages, or any project that you're working on. So we've got that cleaned off. Let's see. We'll bring in our bits and pieces and do a little bit of stamping. Okay, so we have our white label here, and we're going to be sending you some joy with this. That looked really crooked, but it's stamped not too bad, guys. But when I laid that down, I was kind of going, oh no. And then we'll stamp happy birthday in crumb cake. Now I choose crumb cake. Normally I would pick like basic beige, but I don't know about you guys. I find that basic beige has a green undertone, and I don't necessarily love it. At least I don't feel that it coordinates well with the DSP. Now that is just me, and maybe it's my ink pad. I don't know. So I brought in crumb cake here. So we've got happy birthday here. And I forgot that I used the mask on the inside also. So we're gonna bring that mask back in, and we're gonna tuck a little bit of it down here in the corner. Hello, Janelle. Thank you. It's good to be back. Even though maybe I shouldn't have this morning. So I could barely talk when I first got started. I'm going to blame it on the technical issues, or maybe I had a little too much caffeine this morning. Yesterday was my birthday, so I got a free drink from Starbucks. And of course, if you're going to get a free drink, you're going to get a large one, right? I never drink a large. That's a lot of caffeine for me. But I got the large, and I drank that before I came this morning. So I'm a little bit of all over the place. I got a little too much caffeine. But I'm hoping it's going to hold me through 2 videos today. So we'll see. I might be dozing off come the last one. You guys might feel me crashing in the next video. So isn't that cool? Just adding that little bit in the bottom like that. Okay, so we're going to bring our pieces together. This postage, your background, is going to go on here like that. And I'm going to have to give Tyler a really hard time about turning the internet off. How dare he, right? Okay, so we have our labels. I think I can adhere this right away, so we'll adhere this. So Mary, when is your birthday too? So we've got Mary Lemke and I are twinsies. When is your birthday, Mary? You said you have a holiday birthday too. You know, it's so funny. I always say, growing up, I felt like nobody had a December birthday. I had one girl, we had the same birthday in elementary, but other than that, I feel like there were no December birthdays. And then when at the salon that I work at now, there is, what is there? Five or six of us that have December birthdays or January 1st, all within 2 weeks. So we're like the 17th till the end of the month. Oh, you're a Christmas baby. Oh my goodness. Well, happy birthday. And then now here, there's a group of us here too that also have all these December birthdays. And then I got Chris, who's on the 1st. So it's just crazy how you kind of go your whole life and like nobody has December birthdays, and or I don't know, nobody celebrated their December birthday. And now as an adult, all these people that I know have these December birthdays, and a lot of us have the birthday, like I have Mary here who shares her birthday with me. I have 2 clients at the salon that have birthdays with me. So it's just kind of crazy. You go your whole life and then suddenly you have these people in your world that now share birthdays with us. So it's so cool. So happy birthday to all the December birthdays out there. Do I have any other New Year's babies besides our leader here? So I've got some tear tape on the back, and we're going to weave our pretty in pink ribbon back and forth on here. So Mary, what do you do to celebrate your birthday, since your birthday's on Christmas? I have a few days so I can separate it a little bit, but since you're right on Christmas, what do you do? Or do you do a half a birthday? I always said I wish my parents had done a half a birthday. I was always jealous of my brother who had a June birthday, and, you know, big party outside, and everybody wanted to come. And my birthday was kind of one of those. I mean, my parents did a good job of, you know, making sure I had a nice birthday and whatnot. But the aunts and uncles, we all saw them at Christmas, so nobody wanted to come over really, and things like that. I did have one aunt though that she was always great about that. So we're gonna lay this over the top of our other label, and then we'll pop this up on our card. So Janelle, you've been, oh, your internet's been bad for a week. Oh, that's not cool. Nothing is worse. You know, I'm one of those people that I could go without my cell phone. I could go back to the days of where we had to, you know, use a payphone and things like that. But we rely so much on our internet and on our phones now. It's kind of crazy. You know, everything's an app, whether it's your medical stuff, or, you know, you pay your bills online, or you connect with people online. We do videos online. We stamp together online, and you know, how much we rely on that. So when our internet is down, it's like, oh, it's really frustrating because, you know, you've got things to do and you can't do it because you don't have internet or your internet's down. So that's not fun, and that had to stink with the holidays. Or sometimes that's the only way that you know, you may not have someone's phone number, but you know you can reach them, you know, via Facebook or whatever. So okay, so we have our two labels together. This label is just simply going to go in the center of our card. A very simple card today. Oh, I just on my phone an email message popped up, and so Bella is going to Hawaii in the very end of March into April over Easter break. And he's like, doesn't 78 degrees sound good, was the title on it. I'm like, oh yeah, it does sound good. Okay, so here's our inside. We'll bring our gems back in. So we had to have a pink card so I could use these pink gems, right? So I'll put one here. And there. Got rid of one tiny little strip. That always makes me happy. So there we go. Here is card number 2. So simple and pretty, but like I said, and just using one mask, not even using all 4. You get a really pretty background. Okay. On to this blue card, which I think is so pretty. Look at that. And I love this blue shimmery paper. So this is the glimmer paper from the Peaceful Garden, and which is kind of weird because when I first open it, and it goes with the Peaceful Garden DSP, but Blueberry Bushel isn't in that DSP, so it doesn't really coordinate with the paper. But oh man, does it look beautiful with Blueberry Bushel, let me tell you. Okay, so we have our cloud cover here as our base. For our sentiment here, we have our 2 snowflakes. Our inside, this is embossed with the embossing folder that coordinates with that set. So this is all a label right here, but we're going to cover that up with this piece here. And this is where we are going to bring in our Blueberry Bushel. I do have a little tiny brush for bright blue. And we are using mask number 2 for this one. And we're just gonna put a light coat. So we're kind of gonna do what we did with that very first blue card. We're gonna make this one just a really light coat of the blueberry bushel. And this one I will be going off because I just want it to be light. I have to say this blueberry bushel is a really pretty blue. Whether it's light or full strength. Okay. So, there we go. All right. I'm going to turn it this way. And while we have the ink out, let's do our stamping. So we need happy birthday and a winter wish for snowy delights. I don't know that I want more snow, but if it's gonna snow, I hope it's pretty, not like it was yesterday. Janelle, how was the weather you're in Michigan, right, Janelle? I heard there was some type of cyclone coming in off the lake there. So we got a winter wish for you. How pretty, right? And then we're gonna put happy birthday. And cloud cover we will use. Make sure I bring in the right color this time. Okay, so I have my own little ink pad that I made. I know most of you know that when they came out with this, they were not happy. There was some color shifting happening with the foam pads. So you'll see this color, I don't even know if it's still available, in the Last Chance. But instead of ordering the ink pad, I just bought in the blank ones and then made my own ink pad because these are fabric versus the foam. And there was something with the foam that was reacting and giving it the color shifting change. Now I know some people got the ink pads and they've had no problems with it and they think the ink is fine. And then I've heard some people where they say it looks a little more purple. So there we go. There's our inside. So now we can finish and put our card together. So we're going to put this on first. And that's going to go like that. Can you guys believe another year has gone by and we are headed into another 2026. Oy, yay, yay. Crazy to think. So there we go. Janelle, yeah, it is snowy. High winds yesterday with whiteouts. Today is better. Ugh. That's the part that I do not like. So I have a higher peak here, so I'm going to offset this and put my higher peaks opposite this higher peak, okay? But first we're gonna No, I'll put this one down first. I don't want to confuse myself, guys. There we go. And then you can still see the blue that we inked up on there. Well, action, it must be, as I say, it must be 10 o'clock. I hear lots of movement now happening between the house, and someone was just here in the hive, and so everyone's back in business here this morning. So now this one's going to be the opposite. You're going to use the taller peak. Oh no, maybe I'm not. This is going to go just like we did the last one. The taller peaks are going to go over your silver peaks so that you can still see that blue peeking through. Okay, isn't that lovely? So pretty. Doesn't take much to throw me. Uh-oh. Did I forget my ribbon? That's sad. Oh, smash. I have a feeling it's gonna be one of those days, guys. I think I did forget my ribbon. Sad day. So I was telling you guys earlier that I had this gut feeling that I was forgetting things, but I'm like, nope, I checked everything really well last night. No, I forgot the stuff for the purple card. Now I forgot my ribbon for this. Oy, oy, oy. So what you would do is you would weave. Now I actually didn't weave it all the way across. I used 2 little pieces and weave some cloud cover ribbon and then placed it on here like that. So I'm gonna have to place my ribbon on when I get home. This piece can go right on your card base. I do have to say I really like how the blueberry bushel pops with the cloud cover. I think they complement each other really, really well. Okay, so there's that. We'll glue our inside. Like that. And then we'll use the clear gems on this one. That's funny because Julie Birchbach and I were messaging a little bit yesterday, and she came in and did a bunch of videos because she leaves, I think she goes to Arizona. She goes to Florida. I think Annette goes to Arizona, and she was doing multiple classes and videoing, and she was trying to remember everything and pack everything up, and she's like, I feel like I gotta pack my whole entire craft room. And that's what I feel like I had to do today also, because I've got multiple classes going on. So I know the feeling. So here is your label. Pretend we have the ribbon, and there we go. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So like I said, you don't need to use all 4 masks to make a really pretty snowflake or have it be an accent piece. So there's that. Now, back to our purple card that I forgot all this stuff for. Oh wait, I didn't, you guys. It's right here in this envelope. No. We put it in an envelope. That is why I forgot it, I think. Or wait, hold on. Hold on. It's right here, guys. All the other ones were loose. I didn't forget it. I feel so much better. But we had little vellum snowflakes, so I didn't want to lose them. So we put it in an envelope last night, and I forgot, and it's been sitting here this whole time. Oh, yeah. So we're going to start over again. So what I originally did, I showed you guys how I painted this, and this is on the thick, this was vanilla, thick vanilla. Now you can watercolor it, but I will say the thick paper does not hold up as well. Uh-oh, looks like I'm frozen. Am I frozen on your end, guys? We'll see. Hopefully I'm not frozen. Okay, there we go. I was a little nervous. I'm like, oh man, we're frozen. Not cool. So we painted this, but we'll put this one aside and we'll paint the real deal here. So let's bring in our 3 colors again. We have Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, and Fresh Freesia. So I'm going to ink up my blacks. Bring my little bowl back. And my aqua painter. So what we're going to do, I always keep my little, this is one of my kids' bibs. You can have a Reggie towel, washcloth, paper towel, whatever you want. I tend to not use paper towel just for the fact that I feel like paper towel will pick up fibers and then they end up in your project. And I don't necessarily love that. Not frozen here. Very cool. I love to hear that, guys. So we're going to wet. Now this is watercolor paper. I'm making a mess all over this paper here, getting it all wet. Okay, so now bring in our Fresh Freesia, and we've got hair in our project. Krista, you're gonna have to go back and watch the video. We got a little blue going on today. And I had a lot of water in there, so I wiped it off before I Okay, so then we'll come in. We're gonna add a little more water. We've got our Highland Heather. Kind of blend the 2 colors together a little bit. And now we'll bring in our Gorgeous Grape. And like I said before, I don't mind if this is a little streaky and not completely blended, because we're going to put that snowflake over the top of it. Okay, you saw the beautiful blues. Good job. Okay, so now I'm going to go grab a heat tool real quick And I'm going to dry this so that we can use it right away. Okay, I'll be right back. So last night was when I was creating this card yet because I wasn't finished yet. Imagine that, guys, right? I pulled out my shimmer white paste and it was all dried out and crusty. Sad, sad. Luckily, I had some white embossing powder or paste, but I was sad because I really wanted a glimmery snowflake, right? Well, never fear, guys. I have a solution for that for you. Okay, so this is how I store my paste. So that hopefully it keeps it from drying out too much. So this is just the plain white paste. I keep it in its original bag, and then I keep all of, I don't take the covers off completely, so there's a foam disc in here, and then I put press and seal over the top of it, and then I only lift up a portion of my paste cover. Now I'm going to use mask number 2 for this. And we're just going to place it like this, and it's going to be a little bit larger. It's going to go off your page just a little bit, and that's okay. And I'm going to hold this down. Like that. We'll bring in our palette knife. So we have a pack of 3 different palette knives that are shaped different. It's up to you which one you want to use, and you only need a little bit like that. And you're just going to, like buttering toast, slide this on here like that. Make sure you get a nice thick layer on here. And then I use the side of my brush, or my palette knife, to kind of scrape off any excess. Oops, I had a little blue in there. So we've got that. I closed up my thing. This is where I bring my press and seal in, put my cover on right away. So this is not something that you want to leave out and leave open because it will dry out. And then you make a sad face because it dried out. So we can peel these up Good morning. Does Tyler know he has a lecture coming his way?
Yeah. I said, did you sleep any better? And he's like, I think so.
And you're like, yeah, well, Gina doesn't have internet now.
Yeah,
I told
I
you.
said that before I went to bed. I'm like, you can just connect the internet, but you better have it plugged in before Gina goes live. It said it's at 9 o'clock. Nope.
Nope, he was still sleeping, wasn't he?
Was.
He was getting some good rest.
What am I came on here for? Oh, yeah.
What did she come over, guys? For
Connie Moore is
thinking caps.
we got share a recipe, create a card, inspire others at 2, and I gotta find Connie's cards. Is this live? Oh yeah,
Yes,
you got
we're
people.
live.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're on it too, right?
What do you mean on it 2? I'm on it 2. Yes.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like I'm on at 2, like
no.
like I'm
She'll
on like
be
no.
live at 2, so you guys got constant videos coming today.
Yeah. Well,
It'll
and
be
if you go
nonstop.
longer, that's fine.
Okay.
I just gotta find Connie's cards. I thought I had them out here.
Is this a card?
Let me see.
It's got red in it.
Oh yeah, that's an extra. Somebody. Yeah, that's from a year ago.
Oh, okay. A year ago, guys. She needs to go through.
I know what it is,
And-
but nobody told me they were ever missing a card from their kit. So that's who's ever missing a card. They're gonna find it yet.
Okay, so remember I told you I was out of sparkly paste, and this shows up nice and it's good and it looks pretty, but watch this. We got those craft supplies. So, of course, do I have glitter downstairs? You bet I do. So, I really wanted a glittery snowflake. So, I went downstairs and looked through my stash of glitter, and I had this really pretty diamondy glitter, but you could use silver, you could use gold, you could use pink, you could even use purple if you wanted to.
Use whatever you want.
So as long as the paste is still wet, so you'll want to do this right away. And look at that. Look at that glitter. Oh, so pretty. Here, I'm gonna go put this in the big garbage can right away.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
So we don't have glitter stuck in the can forever.
I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe I put them down here. You're fine. Just ignore me.
We're ignoring. No, just kidding. So there we go. Good morning, Rose. So we have our really pretty, and you could use a heat tool to dry this a little bit faster. We'll be okay. I'll lay it out and stuff. We'll make it work. Okay, so here's the rest of our pieces. Da-da-da. So we've got freesia, some gorgeous grape, emboss. I think this was what? Snowflake Sky or something like that. It's one we don't have anymore, but I love this one. Okay, so that will go on here. Like that. We're gonna stamp our sentiment. And I had it out. Where is it? Right here. So, sending warm hugs. Because who can't use a warm hug this time of year, right? So, stamping in our gorgeous grape. And then you're going to have a larger vellum snowflake. Now, of course, I would bedazzle that up, but yesterday I opened up a brand new Stella, and I don't know, I'd love to hear if you guys have had any issues with your Stella, but when I went to squeeze to get it activated, going, I ended up with a cloud of white. And I did put it on one of my projects, and it worked out okay because it was some pine leaves, so it gave it kind of a cloudy look. It didn't give it that sparkly look, which was okay because it looked a little bit like snow, which was fine. But I'm afraid to put it on other projects because I don't want it to dull some of my projects. I wouldn't want it to dull this sparkly business. So what do we got to do next? Okay, twine. I brought in, because Petunia Pop ribbon didn't work for me. I wasn't digging it, so I brought in the twine. So I got the gold and white twine. We have, what, 2 different kinds of Petunia Pop ribbon, but what about a gorgeous grape ribbon or a different ribbon? I'm just saying. A different shade would be good. So we're gonna put a piece of tear tape, and then we will weave this on the back, possibly. So just weaving this back and forth, and almost, the way it ends up working out, it almost looks like I have a bow here, but I don't. Without the work of tying a bow. Okay, we'll add some dimensionals. And this will go in the center. Now this isn't going to be completely dry. It'll feel dry to the touch, especially because I put the glitter on here. So that's going to be in the center. So you're going to want to make sure that you leave this out to dry a little bit before you assemble it, or don't put anything on top of it so that you don't lose your raised image. So we're going to carefully put on some dimensionals. I'm trying not to press hard on it so I don't smush anything. And technically you could. So when I originally did this card, I just had a rectangular piece and I wasn't, you know, loving it, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. And then I ended up running this through the die cutting machine where I came up with this shape. So, and that was after it was dry. So it did flatten the embossing part a little bit, but it still looks pretty. So there we go. There's that. And then we have a few more vellum. Snowflakes. We'll just add here. And then we'll bring in our purple gems. And put those on those snowflakes. So I know from a distance it's really hard to kind of see, but in person, this card is spectacular. Ta-da! All that shimmer. Woo! Okay, so there are our 4 cards. And one thing you want to make sure you do right away is, I did wash my mask right away, and I didn't wash my spatula, but wash your utensils right away to get that residue off. It's much easier to get it off when it's not dried in, okay? So let's bring in our 4 cards for today. like I said, these kits are available, and Chris was just here, so I should have asked her what shipping date was, but so for those of you who ship with Christine, these will ship out in January. So if you want these kits, here you go. Look at how pretty they are. So the cost of these are $22 plus the cost of shipping. What else do I have for you? Don't forget to follow and like my Facebook page, so Glitter and Ink with Gina. You guys have questions, you want to sign up for classes, send me an email at ginalbulo@gmail.com. Here's my phone number if you guys need to contact me. Don't forget, every month I do a drawing where you guys can win a prize for liking and sharing my video, but make sure you let me know that you have shared my video, because I don't necessarily know that you shared it unless you tell me. Sometimes I can see that, sometimes I cannot. So share it either from YouTube, or I always post the video on my Facebook page, and then you guys can share it from there. Just let me know, and then you'll be entered into the drawing. Now, yesterday was a special drawing, so I'll give you guys a few days to do that one because it was my birthday. We're doing an extra drawing. So those of you who shared yesterday's video, so you still have time to go back and watch the replay of that and let me know that you shared it. There's going to be a special drawing just for that one because that was my birthday. So a little extra prize. I like to give presents, and what better way than to give presents on your birthday, right? So reach out if you guys want any of these kits. I'll be going live here again. For those of you who ordered the surprise box, there was a private link sent to you via email yesterday for you to join. I'll be going live at about 11ish. I'm gonna clean up this mess and we'll move in the next group of stuff. And then Christine will be live at 2 o'clock today. What'd she say? Create, share, and inspire? Share, create, inspire? So lots of that. And then I will be live again one more time for the year. We'll ring out the year with the scrapbook workshop tomorrow. So anyways, I hope you guys are having a fantastic week, enjoying maybe some time off with the holidays here. Hope you're in your craft room stamping away. And I will see you guys back live at 10 o'clock tomorrow. So thank you for joining me, everyone.